Most IELTS students learn long, complicated vocabulary for education topics, but they forget the simple truth. Band 7 Plus answers don't depend on big words. They depend on natural and precise words. And one of the most natural and precise tools you can use in your IELTS speaking is phrasal verbs. Sometimes phrasal verbs are hard to learn for two reasons. First, there are so many of them. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Second, they often have very different meanings depending on how they are used. But have no fear. Today, I will teach you 10 essential phrasal verbs for education that will instantly make your answers sound more fluent and more authentic. I'll explain each phrasal verb in a simple way, show how students use them, and give you a natural example that you can use in school, university, or learning-related topics. Let's get started. Now, we all know that students often panic when they feel behind in class. They say things like, "I want to do extra work to finish the lesson on time." But that's not what they mean. The natural phrase we want to use is catch up. It means to reach the same level as others. For example, I missed a week of school, so I had to catch up on the lessons. Our next one sounds quite dramatic, but it's very common. Sometimes, because they are having problems, students say they are going to stop school early. But this sounds unnatural and unclear. The correct phrasal verb is drop out. It means to leave school or a course before finishing. He dropped out of university after the first year. As a teacher, I hope you have never had to drop out of anything. Here is something every learner has experienced. Sometimes we can't do the same homework or pass the same test as other students. For whatever reason, we are slower than the others. But saying I was slow in class doesn't match the real idea. Instead, we want to use fall behind. We can use this when others have moved faster than we have. I fell behind in math, so I took extra classes. Our next one is so common, and it means more than what it sounds like. I think examiners would definitely notice the attitude here. If students get frustrated with something, they may say, "I stopped trying." But that sounds quite simple. A better and more natural phrasal verb to use is give up. I kept failing my math test, so I gave up and focused on English and literature instead. Or, I wanted to give up, but my teacher encouraged me. How about a phrasal verb we can use for describing study habits? Some students say, "I look again," which isn't idiomatic. Instead, use go over, which means to review something carefully. Before an exam, I always go over my notes. We're halfway through our list, and I want to remind you that if you want to check your speaking level, comment free, and I'll send you my free IELTS self-assessment checklist. It'll help you understand where your fluency, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation need improvement. Now let's get back to it. We've talked about falling behind and catching up with, but what can we say when we're struggling to maintain the same pace as others? Some may say it's difficult to follow the class, but the meaning is different. Instead, use keep up with. Here we're talking about staying at the same speed or level as others. For example, sometimes I can't keep up with the reading assignments. This next one is one of the most useful phrasal verbs for language self-study. Students may say, "I search for the meaning," which sounds unnatural. Instead, we can use look up for when we're searching for information or a definition in a book or online. If I don't know a word, I look it up in a dictionary. This next phrase is terrific because it can be used in lots of different everyday situations. It's also something that every student does, even adults. We could say, "I delay my studying," which is accurate but not natural. Or we can use the phrasal verb put off. It means to postpone something. And we can use it anytime we keep delaying something until another day. I put off doing my homework until the very last minute. Now, our second to last phrasal verb helps you sound academic without sounding memorized. Sure, you could say I researched something. It's fine, but a bit formal and unnatural in speaking. Instead, I want you to use read up on. It means to study something by reading. I had to read up on climate change for a school project. Finally, our last one is a terrific example of how phrasal verbs often have more than one meaning. Students often want to explain how they solve problems. They say solve it, but this is way too direct. Instead, they could use work out. This means to figure something out or find the answer. When I hear it, it makes me think that it took a little bit of time to get it done. I couldn't understand the equation, but my teacher helped me work it out. And yes, it is the exact same phrasal verb as when we go work out at the gym. It just has a different meaning here because of how it's used. Let's quickly go over everything you've learned today. Now you know 10 natural phrasal verbs for education and how to use them. Catch up, drop out, fall behind, give up, go over, keep up with, look up, put off, read up on, and work out. If you use even 2 or 3 of these in your IELTS speaking answers, especially for topics like studying, school, university, or learning habits, you will sound much more fluent and natural, and you'll be on your way to a higher score. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe. And follow me on Facebook for more daily IELTS tips. As always, happy studies.